shit.
Yeah.
AMO.
Real hip hop shit.
Gold mine.
Concrete with the still mix. Real shit, trill shit. Just remind me of my nigga Pun. You know what I mean? Back in the act shit. You dead. I was a young nigga, 9'6", hugging the strip. Chasing my dreams since then, nigga.
Real shit.
Yeah, real talk.
Playing
26, 27 years old, you know what I mean? OG,
triple O, nigga.
So I got the
yellow with the purple. Feel like a Laker. Y'all niggas just hate us. I'm Kobe, nigga.
yellow and the purple Zans and bananas. It might be behind me, high as fuck, better not try me. Turn I open, gun smoking P. Marley. And the hawk turn your beard to a baldy. Coke on the bitches, dope in the coffee, money in the walls. Them 16 they wanna off me. Love hard, enemies comes as these friends who wanna cross me. Hate harder, that's when they lost me. Nothing would have cost me, I pay him no attention. I spray him with extensions, then I add him like a mention. No Twitter shit, whole lot of bitterness. Drug, guns, hoodies, and semblance. Niggas hit the block, serve like it's Wimbledon. Gave my man 5, I just talk fly. Every time he call, I just press 5. I'm just blessed, nigga, it's a blessing to be alive. I live in Philadelphia, it's a blessing to survive. Goddamn Pizzy, I miss you much. LAD, then they gripped up East. My nigga Staxx, he getting them G's. And my nigga Cash, yeah, he up next. And my nigga Bucks and Burns, he fucking up checks. Fuck these bitches, we getting digits, stacking them up. For my nigga round, no hell, but I keep the Ruger. Fuck a shooter, I walk up on him myself, medulla oblongata. My flow been proper, I'ma shine like a fresh pair of patent leather Pradas. You nada, fuck that data. I've been getting money, no, didn't have a data. Fuck a baby father, my girl get anything, you get nada. Show you the hammer, take your Prada, take your Gucci, pull off in a hoopty, then get a head from a groupie, huh? 9'6" had a Coogee. Mom said where you get it, let a young nigga do me. Let me do me, rest in peace, man. Real nigga, trill nigga, man. Been doing this shit for a long time. And I don't do it for you niggas, man. I do it for me, man. I do it for the real trill niggas, my niggas. Stand up niggas, you know? Sit your clown ass down, nigga. Let real men be men, you fucking mouse. That go for anybody who got a problem with me and my niggas. Doing what we do. You know what I mean? Adam like a Mitch.
Let's go, nigga!
You fuck with Amo, come to the stage, man. I need a home, still loyal to the niggas that I roll with. Dealing with components, I can die any moment is coming. I go hard for every opponent. I break shit down like the city cold. So all my niggas jail holding. I'm here to knock down pins like a nigga rolling. Riding on the beat like a nigga rolling. My aspiration, avoid animation, apply more patience to the point where I gotta take it. And come from man, most niggas won't make it. And that's as real as it's first. Hope for a pill, shit is real in the hurt. I'ma keep it real, even if it hurts. Niggas got at 13, calling me OG. Last week I was 23. I swear to God, bitch, calling on my phone line. And niggas chatter like a plant out the whole mine. I got my own mind, and this is all mine.
Alright, we behind the scenes before the interview with BB Staxx, future millionaire.
I ain't far neither. As far as a lot of you cats.
And we got the author Yanni, awesome book writer, who's going to conduct this interview. We thank her once again for coming out.
Definitely respect that word.
And showing some love.
Okay. So the one thing that I'm always curious about when I speak to rappers, what rapper inspired you growing up, or who inspired you to start rapping?
Growing up, I mean, I was inspired by that MTV Jams era, I should say. I mean, I remember my mom buying me tickets
for an MC Hammer concert
Wow.
at the age of 6.
That's taking it back.
You know, I mean, I had the Airbrush Too Legit to Quit jackets.
Oh, no.
I mean, I had the Bobby Brown shoes. I mean, this was something that I always loved. Crisscross, Cool Mo D. I mean, I'm young, but that's how far my roots reach back to hip hop. What made me seriously consider me rapping myself is I seen around the time when Rockefeller hit Philly heavy, and it kind of became cool to rap because I always secretly wrote, but you know, in Philly it wasn't really cool to be like, yo, I'm a rapper. And then around the time when all the DVDs came out, I was like, hey, it's cool to be a rapper now. Then I saw Jay-Z had, I think his name, Young Chris. He was like 16, and around that time I was like 13, 14. And I'm like, wow, so this young guy can do it. It's possibly that I can do it. And I had a friend that said, hey, man, you kind of good. And then just something that always naturally came to me. And I started taking it seriously about a year ago. My mom got sick, and I had a lot of stress and pain and things that I wanted to relieve. And instead of just acting crazy in the streets, I would come to the booth and, you know, I mean, relieve a lot of my stress. And I had talks with Rel, which is my main engineer and producer. He was telling me, if there's something you want to do, you got to take it seriously. And at first, he didn't really believe in my lyrical ability. So through practice and dedication and determination, I became good, and now I'm investing my own money, building my own company and taking it seriously. So for excuse me, for about a year, I've been taking it serious.
Okay. Raw was speaking on some of the projects that you've been working on, and one of them he named Pain.
Yes.
And Pain has a specific meaning behind it. It's like an acronym.
Correct.
You want to tell what Pain stands for?
Pain, to me, was something that I came up with, dealing with the state of the economy and seeing the recession and a lot of things that was going on. And you look at the news, they don't really touch on it as much as we need to touch on it as rappers, because we're here right in the middle of it. And the Pain stands for Poor Americans in Need. Because a lot of people, when they think about the ghetto, they just think about African Americans. But it's a lot of people in America that suffer from the economy, whether they're white, black, Latino. I mean, we suffer the most, but that's where I'm from. I'm not rich. So I want to give America the perspective on a young black male coming up that's trying to do the right things, but he's a poor American in need of these credentials and help that we may not have. I believe they closed a lot of schools last year, a lot of recreation centers in Philadelphia.
Right.
So it's not a lot of opportunities out there, so we're in need. So it's kind of like my cry for help, saying, hey, can you pay attention? Can you do something for us? Can you help us out? I mean, they talk about the shootings and the murders, but they don't talk about alternatives for things to do to keep these youth out of the streets. And, you know what I mean? And these rappers, they glamorize these lifestyles like it's cool, but they don't tell the kids, you know what I mean? If you do shoot a gun, these are the things that may happen. You may go to jail for the rest of your life. It may affect someone else's life, you know what I mean? It's one hand wash the other, so that's the type of rapper I am. I live one certain life that I don't like to glorify, but that's the life I live. So I touch on that subject, but also I like to let the people know and the kids know that these are the things that come with it. And this is my life, and this doesn't have to be your life.
Right. Now, do you think that rap and hip hop could, since it's grown to be something over the last 20 years, where a lot of people are incorporating it into like commercials? You see it in like the credit commercials where the little white guy is rapping to get the point across. Do you think that is one way to incorporate into education to help bring the points that you just spoke of to the kids' attention, so that they can understand that, you know, a lot of what's spoken on in rap is not to be glamorized, you know?
Absolutely. I think it's important that In fact, I know Temple University, they have a hip hop class, and they'll touch on the hip hop. But I think it's important for us to, for these rappers, I don't like to drop any names, but certain rappers that are in certain positions that choose to talk about certain things. And that's fine with me, and you know, you want to sell your records, but I believe those are the rappers that have to come to these schools and talk to these kids logically and let them know that rap is a form of entertainment, just as being an actor or a comedian. And you know, we come from an era where, you know, Public Enemy and Chuck D, you know, it was cool to talk about fighting the powers or, you know what I mean? But nowadays it's just like everybody wants to be in this fantasy world where everything's happy and everything's going on, where that's not the case. And it's kind of hard when you want to, you know what I mean, talk to the kids about being peaceful, but then you have their favorite rapper talking about being violent. So it kind of gives you a hard situation, you know, put you in a rock and a hard place to try to make it seem cool for the kids. It's like, you know what I mean, explain to them it's alright to go to college, you don't have to be a gangbanger. But I think it's just about the people taking a stand and the right people taking that approach. I use an example of Lab Ep1
Right.
One of my favorite artists. It was a Twitter beef between him and an upcoming
I remember that.
in Chicago, Chief Keef.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, it's a lot of murders and things going on, but I mean, you got a rapper that's actually going to these schools and speaking to these kids and trying to keep them away from gang violence. Then you got a rapper that got 17 million YouTube views who's encouraging it. So it kind of makes it hard. I mean, you know, from the city, we all live those type of lifestyles, but I just believe as a rapper, it's very important about the topics and the things that you choose to talk about. And I think you should definitely back up what you say.
Right. How would you describe your rapping style?
Me, pretty much, I'm a conscious gangster rapper. I'm like that guy in jail with the glasses on, in the corner reading, reading a book, saying to himself. It's because I say that to say I can't really say I'm a role model type, because in one breath I might say something about killing somebody, then the next breath I might say something about going to school. It's just the type of person that I am, and the type of anger that I would like to release. So I can't really fit myself in a lot of lane of rap that's going on right now, but I would compare myself to, say, a Nas, a Lupe Fiasco, a Styles P, who also is a underground rapper, who also is an author as well. Like, I take my lyrics very personal. Like I said, I have a project called I Don't Write, where I have the gift to just freestyle and sometimes rather put on the beat. And I really can freestyle literally off my head, not something that I memorize and re-rap. I mean, something that really makes sense in one line, and I can actually stay on that subject and freestyle. So that's why I want to title it I Don't Write, because a lot of people say, you know, I don't write, I just go in the studio and I rap. But I mean, we've been doing this since teenagers were standing on the corner and just freestyle. But as far as really writing my lyrics, I take my style as a conscious gangster rapper, you know what I mean? Cool, laid back, club songs. I say versatile would be one word to sum it all up.
Okay. Now, you mentioned I Don't Write. Now, is that just one song, or is that just is that a project
Actually,
that you're working on where it's full of multiple freestyles?
Actually, this was what happened. I've been going to the studio so much, I got hundreds of songs. So it's basically like, it's an era in my life where I was just basically coming to the studio every day venting. And it's like, it was going to be called Dopamine because, you know, the original project we talked about is pain. And the dopamine receptors is the things that keep you from having pain. Like when you go to the doctor and they give you anesthesia, it plays with your dopamine receptors in order for you not to feel the pain. So I was going to name it Dopamine, even it's kind of complex. So I said, matter of fact, I'm going to save the Dopamine project, and I'm just going to give them something to let the people know that I have been working. And I'm just going to title it I Don't Write, because at the time I wasn't writing. Whatever beat that was coming on, I was just going on it. So it's basically a project that I'm giving to the people to help them understand what's going on lyrically with BB Staxx.
Okay. I think that's the one that I'm mostly going to be looking forward to because I like a lot of freestyles. And one thing that I'm noticing a lot with hip hop is that a lot of artists, they don't freestyle anymore. They,
Exactly.
you know, their stuff is written or it's written for them.
Exactly.
I can't even remember the last time I saw a cypher. Do ciphers even exist
A real
anymore?
cypher.
A real
Exactly.
cypher.
I mean, BET, they do their little cypher, but those are things that's rehearsed practice, you know, on stage. And I mean, I'm sure there's rappers that can do it. It's not a lot, but we from Philly, and this is what we do. We really rap, and that's what one thing I always tell Rel, even if we don't come up with a hook song that get everybody snapping their fingers, I know I can rap my way out of a room with anybody because I can rap. I don't need a pen, I don't need a pad. That helps because, you know, when you write, you think about before you write. But I have a gift where words come to my head and I can just spit.
Now, speaking of ciphers and battles, rap battles,
Yes.
the recent Meek Mill versus Cassidy.
Yes.
I'm not even going to give my opinion on who won, honestly.
Yeah.
Who do you think won that battle? Was it even a battle?
My opinion, it wasn't a battle. From my era and Meek Mill's era and Cassidy era, the battle was a face-to-face contest with people around, with judges, whoever, and they tell you who won. I think they were just throwing jabs at one another.
Right.
And I believe Cassidy would be the better battle rapper, and I believe Meek Mill is the most successful and best rapper at this time. So I believe he won that battle because of the buzz and the things that was happening. And if you look into the media and the people I think chose Meek Mills over Cassidy. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm a fan of both of their music.
Right.
And I'm saying I grew up listening to Cassidy. I listen to Meek Mills now. So
When you, like they both had a diss track towards each other. If I remember correctly, Meek had Repo and Cassidy had Raid.
yeah.
Right. What would be a classic diss track to you?
My favorite diss record was, because these are two of my favorite rappers, Beanie Sigel and Jadakiss.
Okay.
I remember in high school, I believe Beanie Sigel recorded over Jadakiss song. What was the song? I don't know. I remember one of the bars was, I kicked the ball over the fence to let you know who yours is this. And, double RT in the ball, then I'ma spot you. You know what I mean? To me, those is classic battles. Like the Ether track. Nas and Jay-Z, LL versus Cannabis. Even though they wasn't face to face, it was like, all right, I'm saying your name, you saying my name. You drop a record, I'm dropping a record, and we gonna keep going until we have a winner. Nowadays, you don't really get that. Like, there's so many endorsements and big people behind that I believe some people are just scared to put their brand on the line. I'm not a battle rapper, per se. I rap, but I'm not a battle rapper.
At this time, what would you say is your most successful track, or what's your favorite track of your own?
I don't have a favorite. I have a lot of unheard music. I have favorites. I like Darkness, which was one that you heard, but it was like cut in half. First it was the Goldie, and it was the one with me riding in the car. That touched on a lot of real situation that was going on in my life. I like this track called The 100, which has features on it. I like the Strippers track a lot because it brought me out of my element. I'm not known for the party records. I have a record also for the ladies called Bottom Chicks, They Be Down. I mean, I have a lot of records that I'm excited about. One that I recorded recently, European. So that's my most recent favorite. I recorded that about 2 days ago.
Right. You were telling me about a track that you have. It's a stripper track.
Correct.
I think that would be a hot summer song.
I agree.
That one summer song that everybody is just banging. You hear all the time up and down the street, in the club. What would you like to see happen with that specific track?
Basically, I just would like people to hear it and respect the work and everything that I put in. I just want to see people dance. I want to see strippers make money off of it. I just want people to have fun off the record because, like I said, a lot of my stuff is pain. And, you know, I like to enjoy life too. It just so happens that I get more rain and sunshine, so this is one of the records where, you know, I get to express the sunny side of my life, and I just want people to enjoy it, have fun, and dance to it, and party to it. Hopefully, they get to meet me in person, and I can perform for the masses, and hopefully, I'm preparing for a college tour, so hopefully I'll be in a city near you, one of your campuses, so.
I could actually see that at like Cheney or Westchester at one of their pep rallies. I could see that. Which rapper would you collaborate with, or which rapper do you think you could produce the hottest track with?
That's a good question. I have a lot of friends who are incarcerated right now. One of my favorite rappers is Lab Ep1 who was the founder of AMO, which is the clique that I am a part of, which means another money-making operation. A lot of money, more opportunities, and I believe if he was home that me and him would collaborate and do a very good track, and it would represent both of our movements and where we from. We from the same block, same neighborhood. I started my own thing, he started his own thing, but at the end of the day, we're all family. But as far as in the industry, I believe Lupe Fiasco right now, me and him, we kind of see eye to eye, and I think that we could bring forth a crazy message because him being who he is and me being an upcoming artist, it's like I can open the eyes of a lot of people of the thing that's going on that people not really paying attention to.
Right. Now this is the question that I have to ask everybody that raps. Tupac versus Biggie. Who do you pick?
Tupac.
My man. My man. Thank you. My man.
I mean, I respect Biggie Smalls, but Tupac is a revolutionary, very educated man. He died at the age of 25.
Right.
And I believe the world would be a different place if he was still alive today.
Absolutely.
And I can't say the same thing about Biggie Smalls, but he definitely was one of the greatest lyricists of all time. But I think Tupac took it beyond hip-hop. You know what I mean? He was like a Martin and a Malcolm of our era. Like, when he spoke, people listened.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He made you want to listen.
Right. Well, that's pretty much all the questions. Is there anything that you want to add, like any information that you want to give as far as like what we can look forward to in 2013?
I just want to tell the people, basically, first of all, I appreciate you. Take the time out to come interview me, and please go grab her book. She'll tell you more about that. I'm at the Real BB Staxx, THEREALBBSTAXX. I'm on Instagram as well. I have I Don't Write, hosted by my man DJ Striker. You know what I mean? Look forward to that. Rudy Band Productions, Gold Mine Entertainment. I have a lot of book bags coming soon. Called Around Matisse, which means gold mine in Latin. Free all my boys, you know who you are. And that's about it. Just pay attention, man. I got a lot of things going on. Just remember, BB Staxx, Gold Mine Entertainment, Rudy Band Productions, and Around Matisse book bags. And you know, email me at tidda64@gmail.com. I also sell women's hair. And I also can get you a custom book bag. So, holla at me. And you also can reach me at that email for booking. I do features and I do live performances as well.
Okay. It was nice talking to you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.